Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Becca, and here in my little corner of the web, I like to talk about budgeting and finance and lifestyle things. And today I am sharing my August 2021 budget. If you haven't seen my budgets before, I plan in my Plum Paper Planner, and I design every template for the month based on the Plum Paper monthly sticker subscription kit. So this is this month's. I actually wasn't a really big fan of it. I don't like all the florals, so I just went really simple with the little waves. So let's get into it. This month, there are going to be some changes, and they'll be even bigger next month. But this is an exciting month for us because it's the first month I will be planning with no debt. My husband and I are officially debt-free. So that's really exciting for us. I don't share every line item of income between my husband and I, mostly for his privacy, but I do share any miscellaneous income that we expect to get. And I think actually that this is the first month since I started doing these videos that I do not expect any miscellaneous income. When I started doing the videos, we were getting rent from the renters who were renting our house while we were waiting to break for our lease to be over, which is kind of a long story, and you can see that in my other videos. They moved out in March, and then we had some just like miscellaneous income that we plan to get over the next several months. But this month we don't expect to get any. So it's just our regular salaried income, and it is less than usual. And let me just backpedal a little bit. When I say salary, I have currently 2 part-time jobs that make up a full-time job, and I get regular planned income from those. My husband, Jared, teaches music pretty consistently every week, so he gets, we don't know what the exact amount's going to be, but a regular paycheck from that. And then he also is a draftsman for an architect, and that is our most unpredictable income. So this month, I am predicting that we are going to have $5,400 of income, and you'll notice that that is lower than usual. I feel like we've been about at like $6,200, $6,300 for a regular income, though it's always so unpredictable and it fluctuates wildly. But this is because I am planning to quit one of my jobs. So I expect to only be paid halfway through the month, through the 15th. So I am not counting on the second half of that income. So after this month, it will drop even lower. And I think that we will just be hovering around a lower amount from now on, at least until I can pick up some other work. If you didn't watch my debt-free video, I explained everything about why I'm leaving my job in that, so you can check that out. Moving on, the next line item in our budget is giving. We are believers, and we always give our first 10% back to God and the church. So I think this month, to our specific church, we plan on $383, and then we support several other charities that are doing ministry around the world, and that comes out to $157, so that equals $540. And I've just filled in all of these to save a little bit of time already. And then our mortgage is $1,200 even every month. My phone bill is $44. Our Wi-Fi is $70. And I just round some of these to keep even numbers because I don't like cents in my budgeted version. And then electricity. So we've already gotten all of our bills, I think, for the month. So I already know that that is what our electricity bill is going to be, which is almost double last month. But I guess it's summer and I live in Texas. So actually we just had our first 100 degree days of the year, which is really odd. They were later than usual. I don't know if there's just been a lot of rain, which I think is keeping the temperature down. So I expect that this will be just as high in August and in September, which is the bill for August, but then hopefully it should go back down. And then water, sewer, trash. I already got this bill, and it's $88. Natural gas, I've not gotten this bill, so I'm just estimating around $50. Car insurance is going to be $149, and health insurance is going to be $161. So the total of our bills category is going to be $1,882. And then moving on to our variable expenses. Groceries and household. I finally upped the budget for this. I was doing $400, but we have been blowing that recently. It's currently July, and we have already spent over $500 and I just don't even know where. But somehow we are spending it. We also are, and I don't know how much this is contributing, but my husband is currently training for a marathon. So we started getting him like those Boost little shakes, and those are not cheap. But he needs the extra calories to counteract the 1,000 calories that he's burning in the runs that he's doing. It's crazy. But eating out, we're going to stay with a steady 180 on that one. Gas, we are actually going to take a trip to Austin to visit my family. So I am planning for an extra fill up of gas. So I think it'll be 130 instead of 100. But gas has been pretty unpredictable lately, so I'm hoping that we can stay within that. And then Jared's allowance, he gets $100. I get $100. Subscriptions, we expect about $60, and that's for Apple Music and all our other Apple. We have Apple Care and extra storage, just all kinds of Apple's extras, and then like a shaving razor subscription bi-monthly. And then house. We've been setting aside money just for house stuff that's not specifically, I used to just have this as like reno, but then I separated out and made a category for house stuff and then one for reno stuff. And the house one is things that are not like adding value to the house. Like we can take them with us if we left and they're not attached. And then reno stuff is like actual, changing the physical house, if that makes sense. So we are budgeting $100 this month. I think I want to buy this little 8 cube to go in my office to match. I have one behind my desk and I want another one to create like a complete look. But I've been having trouble finding the exact one that I want. It keeps being out of stock. So hopefully I can use that allowance to buy, or that budget to buy that this month. And then we always budget $100 for miscellaneous costs because they always come up. So that is $1,190. And then sinking funds and savings. So this is where we had to get a little creative this month. It's really defeating, honestly, to pay off debt and be done with that huge goal and finally feel like, oh, we now have so much more like money to play around with, but then to immediately lose the income that you were using to pay that off. So it's almost as if nothing's changed. But hopefully things will change soon. And I will start bringing in income from my own business, which is event planning. So I recently, a couple months ago, revamped how I did this, and I have a starting number, but I won't fill that in right now because I won't know how much I'll start each category with until I close out July's budget. But I plan to add to home maintenance $180. And I used to have home maintenance and renovation in a category together, but I decided that I really need to separate that out because otherwise I would always just spend this money on renovations, and it's really supposed to be more for things like if our AC breaks or the plumbing goes out, something that's unplanned for and a big expense. And I got this number by taking 1% of our home's value at the time of purchase and dividing it by 12. So our home actually has appreciated based on just like market appreciation since we bought the house in last September, but I have not upped this yet. So we plan to add $180 to that. And then renovation. We want to finish our kitchen renovation in August. We have to buy a sink and a faucet and an RO water filter to finish it off. I think we may need a couple other things, but we're replacing the countertops, and while we were doing that, we thought, why not get a sink that we want as well? So I'm planning on $550, and we'll see how far that gets us, but we just did not have extra money to put towards that this month, and I don't think we will in future months. So I wanted to kind of do it this month before it became kind of an unrealistic thing, and it shouldn't be a priority. And then travel, we are putting $200 towards this, and this is another one I really wanted to be able to put more towards this month, but it just wasn't going to be possible. I do want to put some because we are going for our trip to Austin that I previously mentioned. I know that we're going to be doing some fun things. I think we talked about going to an escape room and getting our nails done. Me, not my husband, but getting my nails done with my mom. And those are the kinds of things that they're like trip expenses. So I wanted to put at least enough for that trip, and then hopefully enough to just kind of pad the account for future travel that we're hoping to take. And then gifts, we have 3 birthdays in August, both of my parents and Jared's dad. So we have a lot of gifts to buy, which is why this number is higher than usual. And I just do not have a good handle on this gifts category. I've been putting money into it every month, hoping that, it would never blow our budget, but we just always seem to have more gifts than money in the fund. And I don't know if that's because we tend to want to be like really generous with gifts, or because we just have more people to buy for than we like had thought, but I don't just don't have a handle on it. And then Christmas, we are saving. This is the first month I'm upping this. In the past, I've just been putting $20 a month because we were paying off debt, and so this wasn't a huge priority for us. But we are now upping that to put $100 a month towards Christmas, and this is for specifically Christmas gifts, but then also other costs associated with Christmas, like this is our first year in a house, so I know we'll want to buy some ornaments, or not ornaments, sorry, lights. What are they called? String lights to go on the outside, that kind of thing. And then health, we are just going to put $50 in our health fund and $50 in our auto fund. And I was putting a lot more in these funds, but they've gotten kind of high recently, and I just wanted to kind of put our focus somewhere else until we need to kind of replenish those more. So our sinking funds total is $12.90 for August. And some of those, if we have some extra income, I may actually up those as needed, but I don't want to come in lower than higher. If you have seen my budgets, I try to budget on the lower end of things for our unpredictable income so that we will always have a higher income and we won't be disappointed. And then our last items are our savings items. So now that we are finished paying off debt, the goal that we're working on and putting every extra dollar to is our emergency fund. And I think it has, I don't know, I want to say 5,800 in it right now, but we're trying to get it to 10,000 kind of like at our next level. So I plan to put $98 towards that, and that is just like whatever we had left after all of our other goals. And then for investments, that's another one that we're upping this month. I have a Roth IRA and Jared has a Roth IRA, and they've been kind of on the back burner, but now I really want to go full steam ahead with those because we're still young and I want the compounding interest to work for us. So this month we're planning on doing $400, and I really wanted to do $575, which is the amount that I am not an expert at investing or finances at all, and I try to read a lot of information and get information from sources that I trust and that are reputable. And one that I found was sharing kind of how much to put towards retirement if you wanted to be a millionaire by the time you're 65, which is kind of the amount that I feel like when I put in our income and our typical yearly spending is the amount that we needed to have per person to retire safely. So I took the amount. It was like, if you start at this age, you have to put in this much. And I added the two together because, I'm 23, but my husband he just turned 32. So we have kind of different timelines, and the amount said was 575. And honestly, I want to be putting 15% of our income towards this goal, which is more than that, but it's just not feasible right now. And I really want to work on getting some of our expenses lower so that we can kind of scale back and live on a simpler budget and be able to invest more. But we just have so many things that we want to do and that we enjoy. And I also think that, life is meant to be enjoyed, and nothing is certain. And I wouldn't want to be focused so much on this future that might not happen for us. So not to be a Debbie Downer, but that's just kind of what my thoughts are on that. So our total for savings is $498, and that is a zero balance budget. So I hope you enjoyed this video and seeing kind of what our goals are for August. Let me know down in the comments kind of what you are planning for the end of the summer. If you've had a lot of higher expenses, I just feel like we're traveling. It feels like every other week we're going somewhere, and it's just adding cost after cost after cost. But let me know, and I will see you guys next week. Bye.